power structure on Earth, and society resets. The first part of many. Hello, thank you for passing by my channel. I hope you are doing very well today. I am Mari. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. First of all, human culture on Earth is global, although we can still see some differences inside, especially when concerning isolated tribes, and so on, but those are more or less extreme exceptions, because the cultural bulk is, indeed, worldwide, as countries and nations are just artificial concepts, placed as farms for population control, and any cultural variant within them would only be minor and local. An example of this would be gastronomical differences, languages, local customs, and cultural ways to approach life, and so on, which from the inside, while living on Earth, there may be significant differences, yet from a global scale they turn out to be quite insignificant, even more, when observed with the mentality of non-human interstellar cultures. In the past few years, and I mean mostly 3 years to now, there has been a lot of talk about social, or societal reset, in the context that modern-day culture on Earth is heading towards destruction, but guided artificially by the secret societies that control Earth, I mean by the so-called cabal, which in turn, most definitely is being controlled by the Galactic Federation, and there is no denying, and no getting around that hard fact. The systems that control society on Earth are structured like an onion, where the first level, and most obvious one, is the facade most people can see, those who we call the general population, with a general mentality at the level of still believing in official politics, news, and everything that is officially stated to be the truth about how everything works. Matrixed people, in other words. Then we have the secret societies which control the official politics and its narrative. This level is also called the deep state, although this term is mostly applied to the United States, at least mostly, and not to the entire world, although yes, its control influence is global. After that level, we have deeper levels of the same secret societies, where at this level, they have a lot of influence from elusive and hard to precise, dark lower astral entities who are also part of the global socio-cultural structure on Earth, where these last ones become like a side track with a lot of influence and power, of the normal onion structure of power on Earth, although it appears all over the place, and definitely has a lot to do with decision-making of all kinds. After this, we have the deepest level of all secret societies, the one that has direct contact with non-human entities, being that many of their members are not human either. This is the level that is in contact and takes orders directly from the Galactic Federation, and that can call upon members of any other of the levels under it, whenever it is necessary, so even normal, so-called, democratically elected politicians, may in some cases come in touch with Galactic Federation representatives, who most of the time will be genetically Lyrians, or space humans, masking themselves as normal people. Because most politicians, although under secret society control, are expendable, and there is no use in exposing them directly to Galactic Federation non-human members, such as the Atorthans, because that would be information well above what they need to know, and they may misuse it, for example, leaking something to the public as it has most probably already happened, although it always gets covered up with official narratives and their lame excuses. This means that although many politically elected, people-level world leaders, do go to Antarctica where the meetings with the Galactic Federation take place, they most probably only end up talking to, and getting their orders from human-looking Galactic Federation representatives, who are acting as delegates of the non-human-looking ones, such as the Autochthons, but not only. Coming back to the resets on Earth. All societies evolve, which means they naturally change as time goes by, depending on the circumstances, and the wants and needs of each culture, and this happens most usually in a healthy way in a highly aware holistic interstellar society, yet on Earth, it is totally manipulated and artificially controlled. There are two basic ways to reset a planet's culture. The first one, and the one that is easiest to understand, is to create a cataclysm that destroys nearly everything, or everything, so whoever is controlling the planet can start with a clean slate, to create a new society from scratch. Needless to say, this involves a massive loss of life, and incalculable cruelty. Most people talking about society reset stay at this level, warning the people that this may occur by exposing all kinds of compelling and highly convincing, mostly circumstantial evidence, and they are right. Such a violent and decisive kind of social reset can take place because there are indications that it may come to be soon. But resets are mostly done in a softer manner, where the people hardly notice that they are being artificially guided as cattle. Reality at large, as it is seen on Earth, is based on lies, that are based on more lies, all of which have been imposed on the population using mind and perception control and management, nowadays easily done through the controlled media, especially the internet, and through the super wide use of portable devices, such as cell phones, where the controllers of Earth can pump their mind control strategies into the minds of the population, with utmost efficiency. Before, they had to wait until the individuals got home, and turned on their television set, or had a moment of pause to read the newspaper. This made mind controlling the population slow and inefficient, compared to today where the people are being poisoned with the concepts, ideas, and values the cabal wants into the minds of the population, nearly all day long, or all day long in extreme cases, by using their portable little screens. By the way, television was patented for the first time as a mind control device and system. Cell phones are simply better at it, although, unlike television, cell phones can have a positive side to them, depending on who and how they are being used. For example, the vast majority of all of you, my friends, listen to my video podcasts through a cell phone. The organism that is behind it all is the Galactic Federation. All other systems and organizations below it only have a limited influence on the outcome. Soft social and cultural resets on Earth are done using mind and perception control, nearly exclusively, with no need for global-scale cataclysms, and in any case only using localized tragedies such as natural catastrophes, which are not natural, as there is advanced weather control. It is being used all the time, and to the point where we no longer see nearly any natural weather systems. They may start naturally, but then they get modified artificially. Cultural and social resets are done by exploiting Earth's veil of forgetfulness, as people forget the past easily, so after a generation has died, they can simply change the official past of the entire planet, using what apparently are well-elaborated historical stories and narratives, made up to back the existence of historical events that are equally false. They are only apparently well-elaborated, because if anyone with two working neurons and a genuine interest in researching these subjects study official history and the narrative behind it, countless incongruences and holes will appear all the time. So to soft reset Earth's global culture, all they need is two things: to wait for the past generation to die out, and also erase all the physical evidence that is left behind. This means that historical buildings that may be used as a reference of the past that are different from the new official story and narrative, must be destroyed, as well as any archaeological site or place, that if not destroyed may serve to push a false new history and narrative, if they modify the real ruins, and make up a false history and narrative around them as well. This is why so many ruins, such as the ones in Sumer, Egypt, and South America, among other places, have been heavily modified, in the name of restoration, to the point where any evidence and any clues of a different past are completely erased. This is also the case with ancient texts and writing, such as Egyptian geoglyphs and cuneiform writing, which are given erroneous interpretations and meanings, using supposed specialists and experts who are under secret society payrolls, and whose real mission is to misinform the general population, and as part of resenting and modifying the course of society on Earth. This destruction of the past method can also be seen in other smaller examples, such as the abandonment of encyclopedias, in favor of the super-controlled internet. In this example, people will favor the new, thinking that the old is outdated and obsolete. Most of the content there may indeed be obsolete, but there are many things, and much information that is extremely valuable, because it is a testimony of the values, and of the way of thinking of humanity back then when the encyclopedia was printed, and all that is lost in favor of the internet, where facts can be, and are changed at the will of the controllers of Earth, and all the time. This is not only the case with encyclopedias, of course. I was only using them as an example, as it is the case with all kinds of books, on paper, which are just about the best testimony of humankind's best thoughts and values. And this is why books and documents are either monopolized and taken away by secret societies, or simply destroyed. All the controllers need to guide and soft reset society is to use the super efficient mind control mechanisms they have nowadays, basically, the internet in all its variants and gadgets, to be able to guide the perception values and needs and wants of the general population, with it forgetting their true past in favor of an elaborate historical lie that matches the controllers' plans. There is no real need for global cataclysms, perhaps only local ones, including wars, for example. All they need is mind and perception control, the people's tendency to forget their past, and their need to be socially accepted. That means that people will do anything, and adapt to just about anything, if it is socially accepted and required by the group they live in, and this is deeply embedded into the human psyche, because being socially accepted is equal to survival. The problem is that this perception control and historical lies don't end with Earth, as we now have a lot of evidence that it extends well beyond the planet. It is a lot more complicated elsewhere because people outside Earth, at least mostly do, tend to remember past lives, and such memories are socially accepted and even taken for granted. So gaslighting and lying to a greater population is not enough to guide entire off-planet advanced societies. But it can be done, and now we have evidence that it has, and is occurring outside as well, as I have started to expose in my videos with Ari, the Irma Tiger, about planet Alphratans and Alpha Centauri's historical lies. I'll place a link in the video boxes at the end of this video. There is much more to be said about this subject, and I will soon share with you what we see, how we understand at least some parts of Earth's real history, and why we cannot know for sure what really happened, even while being outside planet Earth, and with time travel capacity. It looks like the rabbit hole goes really deep with this subject. This is all I have for you today. As always, thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you here next time. Take care. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.